So today guys, I'm going to go through the core steps that I took in order for me to become consistently profitable by trading the Falcon strategy, guys. Yes, I'm going to go through the top-down analysis. I'm going to go through how I found value areas and also how I get to my high probability entries. Okay, so before we get there, I just want to give you a word of advice on trading Falcon, because a lot of you guys tend to overlook this thing. You see, Mark Hutchison is a content creator, and he found out that there's a lot of content to watch, and he releases a lot of content in like time to time, and then Falcon traders eventually find themselves learning, like in a vicious cycle of learning and applying themselves. So what I ended up doing is that once I discovered that, no, listen, Mark is releasing too much content for me to consume, and I cannot even take into action the contents that I know now. So I decided to get rid of the mentorship and focus on my own trading. So what happened is that I just focused on like two concepts in Falcon and started to forward test them. So by two concepts, I mean two type of entries in Falcon, because there is a variety of entries in Falcon, and that doesn't mean we have to take all of those entries, because what we tend to do as Falcon traders, we want to take all of the entries, and then you find ourselves not getting to consistency because we're looking at a lot of stuff. For example, one trader can be looking at the 5-minute entry, the refinement, 15 minutes, the 1 hour, the 4-hour entry, the V-shape, a 2-touch, a 3-touch, even the reduced risk entry. So that is a lot of criteria to look at, because let's say if you're an individual trading those type of setups, you see how many are they. So what does that mean for trading? It's gonna take you a long time for the edge to play out, and you're gonna need to be taking a lot of trades, right? So your sample size has to be big. What does that mean in return? You're gonna take a lot of losses. Eventually you're gonna take a lot of losses, and if you're even learning, not even executing the strategy the proper way, it's going to be even bad. And that time, what we usually do is that you find that you are trading a real account, or you are pursuing a PROPFIRM challenge, thus you are using so many entry criteria, whether you are bound to lose. Okay, so what I did was I just focused on two criteria, which is the 3-touch and the 2-touch. For last year only, I just focused on that, and then I found my consistency, I think, around in November. And then from since then, I've been pushing and trying to test new things as well. But then I feel like with these two criteria that I look at, I am consistently profitable. So these two criteria are the ones that I'm gonna show here on screen. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy the video, and please get your pen and paper and jot down a few points that I'll be talking about during this video. And yeah, guys, after this video, I'm sure like your trading is gonna improve a bit or a lot, depending on which stage you are with your forex trading journey. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the things I'm gonna be focusing on are the entries and how I analyze from the high time frame to the lower time frame. So before we go further, the only entries or criterias I look at in the forex market to enter are just these two only that I focus on in Falcon FX, and these are setups which I found to be very much consistent since for testing my system in the previous years, right? Because I started trading Falcon in 2021. So from 2021 to 2024, these two for me are the one that brought me to consistency, right? So basically I only execute risk entries on my entry model, right? So it is usually a 2-touch on the 2nd touch, and also the 3-touch on the 3rd touch. So yeah, I'm usually aggressive with my entries. Why? Because I opt for getting high risks to reward, and I can easily manage a position if I'm at like with entering a risk entry. I can easily get into break even, and also I can also manage the trade and get huge returns and get a smaller stop loss other than the reduced risk entry, whereby there's usually something like this, and then Mark usually does this, and there's the entries taken below, right? Yeah. And then yeah, with me I haven't find success using this this pattern. So I decided to remove it from my plan. Okay, so yeah, so usually have a bigger stop loss in this one, and what usually happens is that it moves down a little and then it comes back, takes me out, maybe creates maybe something different, or maybe a three touch like this. So and then yeah, you get up a nice entry on that one. So yeah, that is why I decided to remove that one. So yeah, these are the only two that I look for. Okay guys, so what I do on the daily time frame is that the first thing is first I usually look for my value areas. So how do I find my value areas? I look for price where in the past price made a pullback or made a collection of volume by creating what a correction in conjunction to where price is on the current market price. And to see this, I use the closest area where price is, yabo. So let's say that someone can say this was a pullback, that one is a high, okay, and then we also have this pullback over here. As you can see, current market price is close to this high than that high. So what does this mean? It means price is reacting to this pullback. So this is going to be my first daily value area, the one I'm going to decide my market direction from, right? So after that, from that point of interest that I have on the daily, I usually look to down to the lowest points, going to the right with a horizontal line. So this is going to be my lowest point, which I call the lowest value area. Okay, so with that, so now I have my price. So what am I doing when I'm doing this? I'm trying to determine the market direction, the overall market direction, because I want to be in line with the higher time frame. Because if I'm trading in line with the higher time frame, there is a higher chance my trades will win. After I find my value areas, I'm done with that. I now do what? I now do something called the top-down analysis, where now I go from the daily going to the 4 hours to the 1 hour, like going down with the analysis top down, right? So in the 4 hour I look, okay, are there any areas where price might hinder the move to the downside, maybe inflation points or whatever? So I can see here there is an inflation point here. Price might reverse at that bottom over there. Maybe this price might, but this is just a small inflation point, so I wouldn't use this one because this is just one for our pullback candlestick. So I wouldn't say this is a significant inflation points, so I'd leave that one there. So there's nothing that I can see that is evidently saying we might have a what inflation point, but then we still do have more momentum to the downside. And if I look closely here, okay, we did have this low which we broke, and we're trying to create a continuation below it right now. So we can further see that continuation went on there 1 hour time frame, okay, because as I said, we're doing a top-down analysis, and at the 1 hour it is usually where I found most of my continuation patterns from, right? And then I decide an entry from the from the 1 hour time frame. So I now start to draw. So this might be a possible, or it's a possible 1, 2, 3 touch pattern, okay, right? Because I can see that here there was a confirmed first touch, this is the second touch. I believe price is just creating a middle section, and then a dead touch would be very nice there, and then I'd take a 1 hour retrace for the entry. So my entries would be taken here with the 1 hour retracement candlestick, you know. So yeah, so that is what I usually do every time when I'm analyzing the forex market. This is what I usually scan for in the lower time frames. Okay, now let's go to a second pair, because at least I should have at least 2 examples, right, so you guys can see properly. Okay, so sometimes when the price action is not clear on the daily, I start from the weekly, right, going down as well, doing what's the top down analysis. So here we did have our we do have our first area of interest there, and then we also have that one up there on the weekly time frame, but now we're focusing on the closest one we had, which is this one that I've identified, right? And then after we are done doing that, as you can see, we're at the daily now, doing a top-down analysis, trying to find what is happening. Okay, so here we did break and lift a week. What price tends to do when it leaves a week, price tends to fill this wick and then it can go down, right? So we can identify this as a space that need to be filled, or what further, meaning our top of the daily, right? From that point going down, that is going to be our lowest low of the daily, which is that one. So right, as you can see here, we do have a pattern as well. We have a 1 2 3 triple top type of style, so there might be more momentum kicking in because we have a triple top. We also have a doji red, doji candlesticks, and we have a now red candlestick with a beautiful body, as you can see, beautiful proportional body. And yeah, that would indicate to us, okay, we must get ready for the sales. Okay, and then I go to the 4-hour to do what, to identify 4-hour momentum. As you can see, we're back to structure. We do have a 4-hour momentum, and also to identify any further entries or inflation points. But here is none, there is none. We just have this inflation point visible on the 4-hour day, so we can go to the 1-hour to see what we have. So yeah, we had something like that, right? We had a structure here which was like this, but then it sort of like extended, right? So we had a structure like that. Okay, so we had a structure like that. Yeah, we had a structure like that. We're expecting a third touch here closer, but then seems like we did extend a little bit. So there I was expecting a bearish candlestick, because as I said, I look for the 3 touches or 2 touches, but here I'm presented with the what, 1 2 3 touch. As you can see, there's a 3rd touch, and I'm waiting for a bearish candlestick, and if I get it, I'm going to be inside like that with the instant execution, and my stop losses maybe go on like a 50% retrace type of end, and then my take profits would be on the next inflation points down there. So yeah, that is how I usually analyze, and how I've mastered the forex the Falcon FX strategy, sorry. So yeah guys, so you just need to keep on practicing the style of analyzing, and just focus on same entries. Do not add new stuff that you see on what Max post on YouTube or Instagram, right? You just need to focus on your work, and don't worry, don't get like feel like you are being left out when they are analyzing on Falcon FX. You are not, guys. I won't lie, you are not. They usually do the same things as us outside the mentorship, just that you just have that thing of like, I need to be there to catch trades. No, you need to trust your work, guys. You need to trust yourself, and the results are gonna show for sure. You know, the results are gonna show. And yeah, in due time, guys, because like, just give it at least a year trying to forward test your best 2 to 3 setups, and be very skilled with your analysis. Make sure you are perfect when analyzing, because if you are still having difficulties in analyzing, your setups won't play properly, because you're not still doing it the right way. You are still struggling. You see where the problem is. So I'd advise that you do that for 1 year. Try to tweak, because in that 1 year you will have fixed a lot of stuff, not only your technicals, but even your psychology. I think you would have mastered some parts of it, your discretion, and yeah, your system in a whole, because you're not going to be focusing on your setups like your entries, but also your whole system, like the way you manage trades. You're gonna learning new things that you're gonna add there, but just that you need to be patient with it, and you are going to get it at the end of the day. So yeah guys, I just want you to do that. And if you like this kind of videos, guys, please can you also drop the comments and drop topics you want me to elaborate on Falcon FX, you know. So guys, can you please like the video, make sure you also subscribe, and yeah, let's help the channel grow. And guys, I'm gonna see you on my next video. Yes sir.